There's a specific bracelet you can buy for under $400 that is visually identical to one that costs $40,000 in a luxury store. Same materials, same cut, same light return. The only difference is where the atoms came from. And that's just number 7 on this list. I've been in this business 20 years, and these are 15 pieces I would tell my own family to buy before spending $1 at retail. Retail jewelry pricing follows a formula the industry never advertises. A store buys a piece at wholesale and marks it up 4 to 5 times before it hits the case. So when you see a $500 price tag, you're not looking at $500 worth of material and work. Most of that number is rent, marketing, and the brand's bet that you'll never ask what it cost to make. These 15 pieces cut around that markup. Nothing reads luxury faster than a clean, brilliant stud. Moissanite is lab-created silicon carbide, and its refractive index sits at around 2.65, higher than a natural diamond. Under normal lighting, in a normal room, the average person cannot tell it apart from a diamond stud. Not as a figure of speech. Literally, a 1-carat natural diamond stud set runs $4,000 to $10,000. A moissanite equivalent in 14K gold or sterling silver runs $200 to $600. Look for a round, brilliant cut, at least 1 total carat weight, and a real metal setting, not plated brass. The stud either reads expensive or it doesn't. The metal determines which. Vermeil gets misused constantly, so here's what it actually means. A sterling silver base coated with gold at least 2.5 microns thick. Not the hair-thin layer you get on standard plated jewelry. It feels heavy in the hand, holds its color under normal conditions, and reads as solid gold from across a room. Solid 18K gold hoops in a real size run $800 to $2,500. Vermeil versions with the same visual weight run $50 to $300. What you're looking for is the 925 stamp on the post, meaning real sterling underneath. Ask about the gold thickness. Anything under 2.5 microns, and you've bought plated fashion jewelry at a slight premium, and it'll show within a year. Polished sterling silver has the same visual density as white gold. In a Curb or Cuban link chain, that density is everything. It's why the piece sits heavy on the neck, catches light evenly along every link, and doesn't look like a costume prop. A white gold Cuban link that gives you real visual weight runs $1,200 to $3,000. A sterling equivalent is $80 to $300. Look for the 925 hallmark near the clasp. Solid links rather than hollow ones, and feel the weight before you buy. Hollow links are the shortcut manufacturers take to cut cost. You can feel the difference. It's like comparing a full wine bottle to an empty one. This is a real diamond, not a simulant. A stone built through chemical vapor deposition, atom by atom, into the same crystal structure that forms underground over millions of years. GIA and IGI certify them on the same grading scale they use for mined stones. Chemically, optically, physically, identical. Lab-grown diamonds typically cost 20 to 40% less than comparable mined stones, and direct-to-consumer brands have pushed that gap further. Stones in the 0.10 to 0.25 carat range in 14K gold settings are achievable under $500, with certification included. The same pendant from a traditional jeweler in a luxury setting runs $800 to $2,000. And I'll say this now. Wait for number 7, because this is not the most impressive thing on the list. Pearls carry a luxury signal that outperforms almost any other material on this list relative to cost. A freshwater pearl drop in a sterling or vermeil setting reads as Mikimoto territory to anyone who isn't already a pearl specialist. Most people in any room are not pearl specialists. Check for consistent luster across the whole surface, no visible pitting or chalky spots, and a post that's real metal, not plastic. The post is where cheap pearl earrings give themselves away every time. Good luster in a clean setting, and you have a pair of earrings that belongs on a jeweler's display tray at twice the price you paid. Every other piece on this list involves some kind of substitution. A better stone, a coated metal, a more efficient sourcing path. This one doesn't. A thin, solid 14K gold chain is real fine jewelry, achievable under $500 if the silhouette is minimal enough. Paperclip link, box chain, Singapore chain, any of these in a fine gauge stays under the line because gold is priced by the gram. Look for the 14K or 585 hallmark stamped on the clasp, meaning 58.3% pure gold throughout, not just on the surface. This is one of 2 pieces on this list that needs no qualification. Hold that, because number 7 is about to show you what happens when materials science closes the visual gap completely. A diamond tennis bracelet is one of the loudest luxury signals in jewelry. A continuous row of brilliant cut stones, identical in size running all the way around the wrist. The real version in natural diamonds, the kind that makes a visual impact at a gala, runs $30,000 to $80,000. An entry-level version from a reputable jeweler starts around $8,000 to $12,000. Moissanite in sterling silver or 14K white gold puts the same bracelet on your wrist for $100 to $400. The stones carry a refractive index of 2.65 and a Mohs hardness of 9.25, meaning they return light at essentially the same intensity as a diamond and won't scratch or dull under daily wear. At a dinner table, under ambient lighting, no one sitting across from you can tell the difference. Not because it's a trick, because the physics of how that bracelet behaves under light is nearly identical to the $40,000 version. The industry counts on you never finding that out. 7 down. 8 to go, and the last item on this list is the one that changes how you think about shopping for jewelry permanently. But before we get there, number 8, a solid sterling cuff has something most cheap jewelry never gets right: actual weight. The thickness of the metal, the flush fit against the wrist, the smooth finish that doesn't catch on fabric, all of it signals real craftsmanship before anyone reads a price. Size reads as value, and a substantial cuff is hard to dismiss. Designer silver cuffs from recognized brands run $500 to $3,000. A DTC sterling cuff with similar mass runs $80 to $300. Check for solid construction, not hollow. Look for the 925 stamp on the inside edge. A smooth or hammered finish is better than a complex pattern because pattern can hide uneven casting. Simple surfaces tell the truth about what they're made of. Lab-created gets used as shorthand for fake, and that's wrong. A lab-created sapphire is corundum, the exact same chemical compound as the natural sapphire that fetches 6 figures at auction in fine quality. One origin took a geological age, one took a controlled environment and a few weeks. A natural blue sapphire ring in real quality, set in 14,000 gold, starts around $1,000 to $2,000 for anything worth buying. The lab-created equivalent in 14,000 gold runs $100 to $400. Look for vivid, saturated color, not pale blue or gray blue, and get a gold setting because silver undercuts the fine jewelry read with colored stones. If a seller presents a lab stone as natural without disclosing it, that's fraud. Clearly labeled, just a smart buy. The signet ring carries status that has nothing to do with the metal, the flat face, the solid geometry, the weight of it in the palm. That combination has signaled rank since ancient Rome, and right now it's as current as anything in fashion, for men and women equally. The form does the work before the material even enters the conversation. Solid 18K gold signets run $500 to $2,000. Gold vermeil in the same shape with a thick enough face to feel real in the hand runs $50 to $250. Buy the heaviest one you can find at your budget. A thin, light signet reads as fashion. A heavy one reads like something someone actually inherited. Here's where buyers' instincts work against them. Irregular pearls, the ones with organic, asymmetric shapes, look like they should be cheaper than round ones. In the current luxury market, they're priced higher. Baroque pearls are the pearl you see in editorial work, on people who've been styled by someone who reads the buying reports. The irregularity is deliberate. Good freshwater Baroque pearls on a strand run $80 to $300 depending on size and luster. Don't check for roundness. Check for luster, the inner glow that moves as the light moves. A flat, chalky surface means thin nacre, the pearl's outer coating, and short life. Deep luster with visible light movement inside the pearl is the real thing, and it reads that way to anyone paying attention. A large center stone in a clean prong setting hits you immediately. A 1-carat moissanite round brilliant in 14K gold or sterling runs $200 to $400. And the face-up appearance matches a natural diamond at that size and cut. One honest disclosure. Moissanite has slightly more fire than diamond, meaning it throws more rainbow flashes under intense direct light. Some buyers prefer that. Some find it too much. If you're buying it to look exactly like a diamond under all conditions, that's mostly true except under a single strong overhead beam. Know what you're buying and let it be a choice, not a surprise later. The Byzantine link pattern is one of the most labor-intensive chain constructions in the trade. Multiple individual links assembled in a specific sequence to create that dense, interlocking texture. It looks expensive because it costs more to build than a simple curb or box chain. Moving from solid 14K gold to gold vermeil doesn't change how that pattern reads on the neck. Solid 14K. Byzantine chains run $800 to $3,000. Vermeil versions run $80 to $350. The quality check. Look at the links under normal light. Misaligned or uneven spacing is the tell on a bad casting. Good Byzantine chain has a regularity to it, every link nesting exactly the same way all the way around. Compressed or sloppy anywhere, it'll open up and fail over time. One more after this. And number 15 is the only piece on this list that works because of how the market is structured, not because of any material substitution. Worth staying for, these are the quiet luxury item on the list. The Huggy Silhouette, a small hoop sitting close to the earlobe with stones set along the face, is a designer's signature shape. Multiple high-end houses built significant parts of their identity on exactly this look. The proportions matter more than the material, and in the right size, the stones can be CZ or moissanite, and no one in the room will ask. Well-made sterling silver pave Huggies run $30 to $150. What you're checking is stone alignment. Every stone should sit at the same angle, the same depth, the same spacing as the one beside it. Uneven pave gives the game away on a cheap casting. Even, tight setting looks like it came out of a case that costs 10 times more. This is the one the retail jewelry industry would genuinely prefer you not hear. When solid 14K or 18K gold enters the secondary market through an estate sale, a pawn shop, or a resale platform, the retail markup collapses. The gold scrap value becomes the floor, and pieces that sold new for $1,500 to $3,000 regularly trade for $200 to $500. You're buying the real thing at close to what it cost to produce. A 14,000 gold bracelet that retailed for $2,500 5 years ago is worth roughly its gold weight plus a modest design premium. Depending on weight, that's often $200 to $500 in the secondary market. The hallmark, whether 14,000, 18,000, 585, or 750 stamped on the inside, is verifiable by any local jeweler in under a minute. Get it verified before you pay. Once you do, you're wearing genuine solid gold for the price of a mid-range watch strap. That's not a substitute for fine jewelry. That is fine jewelry, and the markup is gone. The whole retail system runs on one assumption, that you don't know what things cost to make and can't check what you're holding. These 15 pieces work because the materials do the job the price tag used to do. If you want to know how to look at any piece of jewelry in 30 seconds and read exactly what you're paying for, subscribe. That breakdown is the next video.